What is women's rights? I don't know, man. And why do you think I have this? Okay, so it isn't just some feminism Tumblr mumbo jumbo that everybody says it is. It's actually, some real stuff. Back then, women's suffrage was less about this, and that. It was more about gaining the right to vote from, like, the 1800s to around 1920. This happened all around the globe, including Finland, Iceland, Sweden, and of course the US. I'm going to be focusing more on the US part because, it's kind of for my US history class. But you're asking, when does this all happen? And, what is it? You probably don't care and you just want my bad jokes to end, but, sorry man, you gotta watch all of this. Something that really got the ball rolling was in 1848 when the first Women's Convention was held in New York. After 2 days of discussion, a Declaration of Sentiments was signed by 68 women and 32 men. It had a set of 12 resolutions adopting the calling of equal rights between men and women. By 1850, women's suffrage was all the rage, dude. It was everywhere. The first national suffrage organization was formed in 1869 by Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Lucy Stone. They made attempts to vote in the early 1870s, but when they were turned down, they filed lawsuits. Fast forward to 1916 when Alice Paul created the National Women's Party. She picketed the White House with over 200 supporters, and when they were thrown in prison, they went on hunger strike. After a long fight and a series of votes, the 19th Amendment was put into play on August 26, 1920. Alright, so you pesky women, you got the right to vote. What more could you want? You want respect? Anyways, after the 19th Amendment was put into play, the NAWSA, or I like to call it the NASA, was turned into the League of Women's Voters. They pursued to make the women's vote more effective, while the National Women's Party, led by Alice Paul, chose a different approach. They introduced the Equal Rights Amendment to Congress in hopes of making any discrimination about sex illegal. Sadly, this law was not passed, and they had to wait decades for it to be. The next wave of feminism didn't come until the 50s and 60s. During World War II, in the 30s and 40s, women had jobs recording data and numbers. After the war ended, men took their jobs. Women started to take action, so the Equal Pay Act was introduced in 1963. Leading into the 70s and early 80s, feminism was taking the nation by storm. The Equal Rights Amendment was introduced, but still not passed. That was until March 22nd, 1972. Congress was like, maybe we should start treating women like women. So we gave them a bunch of rights, There we go, we did it. March 22nd was also when U.S. rock band My Chemical Romance broke up. So, there's a fact that has to do nothing with this video. Lastly, we have modern feminism. No, not modern chemistry, although I do talk about them way too much. I don't have a problem, I promise. I'm not too big of a fan of modern feminism, so I'm sorry if there's a little bit of a bias and I say some of my opinions, because you know how much the internet loves opinions. Anyways, I feel like modern feminism kind of gets a bad representation, considering a lot of the people who have taken the spotlight are radical feminists. These are the people who scream stuff like, die cis scum and all white men should kill themselves. And that's not really what feminism is about. As you've seen earlier, it's more about equality and equity. But modern feminism has kind of a name for being very angry at white guys. Specifically, straight, white men. God, I hate them so much. Now, I'm not saying you should go throw on a Meninist t-shirt and yell about how the patriarchy is good and women are the weaker sex, because that's just not true. A lot of people just think that feminism is just overrun by a bunch of social justice warriors. Modern feminism focuses more on stuff like the wage gap and having more diversity in pretty much anything. But I think the best example of feminism can be in the women that fought back in the 1920s and before that too. I feel like I have it pretty good as a woman in America today, but in a lot of other parts of the world, they don't have it too well. Right now, modern feminists are fighting against things like the sex trade, female mutilation, arranged marriages, and all kinds of terrible things that are happening all around the world. Feminism and women's rights have definitely come a long way, and I'm happy that we have them because I really don't want to be stuck in a kitchen all day. Wait, I can't end a video on a serious note. I need some jokes. Wait, my life is